Hello and welcome. Have you ever wondered why some people in a system can do everything, while others can only view or run a few things? That's the power of roles. Roles define the level of access and control each user has in AutomationEdge. In this video, we'll break it down step by step. What a role really means, the 6 key roles that keep AutomationEdge running, and how to create a new user and assign them the right role. Let's get started.
Now that we know why roles are so important, let's define them clearly. A role is a set of permissions that decides what a user can and cannot do. Think of it as a rulebook that controls system access, ensuring both security and proper segregation of duties. In other words, roles bring order to the system by clearly defining who does what. Let's begin with the admin role. The admin is the super user for a tenant, the one with the highest level of control. They maintain the tenant environment, create users, design workflows, and manage permissions. Admins hold the combined powers of workflow admin, user admin, activity monitor, and tenant user. Now let's switch to the server and log in using this role to see what the menu and access look like for this user. You log into the AutomationEdge UI as the tenant administrator. As you land on the home page, notice the comprehensive side menu on the left. As an admin, you have unrestricted access. You can navigate to users to manage the user list and groups. You have full control over workflows to create and edit processes. You can access the Agents menu to manage execution bots, and you have full visibility into requests, reports, and logs. Furthermore, you can access the Settings menu to configure tenant-level policies and security. Essentially, you have the keys to the entire kingdom for this tenant. Now that we've seen how the admin oversees everything, let's look at another crucial role that keeps automation running behind the scenes: the Agent admin. The Agent admin manages agents, the robots that execute workflows. They don't run workflows themselves, but make sure agents are available, configured, and running smoothly. Let's take a quick look inside AutomationEdge. I'll log in as this role and show you what options and permissions are available in the menu. You are now logging in as the Agent admin. Notice how the side menu has changed. While you can still see the dashboard, your primary capabilities are focused on the Agents menu. Here, you can view the agent list, download new agents, and manage agent groups. However, unlike the admin, you do not have access to create users or design workflows. Your role is strictly dedicated to maintaining the health and configuration of the execution infrastructure. Agents are the execution engines, but what about the brains behind the workflows they run? That's where the workflow admin comes in. The workflow admin focuses entirely on designing and managing workflows. Unlike admins who manage across areas, workflow admins are dedicated to creating, updating, and maintaining automation processes efficiently. Let's switch to the server and check what this role can access. The workflow admin focuses entirely on designing and managing workflows. Unlike admins who manage across areas, workflow admins are dedicated to creating, updating, and maintaining automation processes efficiently. Workflows are ready, but what about managing the people who use them? Let's meet the user admin. The user admin is like a people manager, responsible for maintaining users and tenant policies. They manage users with user and user admin roles, but don't handle workflows or agents. Let's log in as this role and see their menu options. You are logging in as the user admin. You'll notice your access is centered around the users menu. You can access the user list to add new users, update their details, or assign them to user groups. You can also unlock user accounts if they get locked out. However, you do not have permissions to modify workflows or agents. This ensures a clear separation of duties. You manage the people accessing the system, not the automations running on it. While user admins manage people, we also need someone to keep an eye on system health and activity. That's the activity monitor. The activity monitor is your system observer. They monitor dashboards, reports, agents, and requests, but cannot edit or create them. Their read-only access helps ensure system visibility and stability. I'll log in as this user and show the available menu functionality. Logging in as the activity monitor. Your view is read-only. You can view the home dashboard to see execution statistics. You can navigate to the Reports menu to generate and view system reports and check the Requests menu to monitor the status of workflow executions. You can also view the agent list for monitoring purposes. However, you cannot create new requests, edit users, or change any configurations. Your role is strictly to observe and report on the system's health. Finally, let's move to the role that brings everything to life: the user, the one who actually runs the workflows. The user is the executor role, the one with the lowest level of access. They are primarily the end user who are responsible for executing the workflow. Users can run workflows, view results, and if permitted, publish or update workflows in assigned categories. Here's what the functionality menu looks like for this role. You are now logging in as a standard user. Your interface is streamlined for execution. You have access to the catalog, where you can see the workflows you have permission to run. You can execute these workflows and then track their progress in the Requests menu. You do not see any administrative menus for users, agents, or settings. All these roles operate within a tenant, but there's one role that governs the entire AutomationEdge platform, the System Administrator. The System Administrator, or SysAdmin, is the ultimate super user, with access to the entire AutomationEdge system. They're responsible for the overall setup, configuration, and maintenance across all tenants. System administrators can create tenant, upload plugins, upload artifact, and create users with the following roles: other system administrators, license administrators, and tenant admins. In short, they hold the highest level of privilege in the entire AutomationEdge environment. That covers all the key roles in AutomationEdge. Let's summarize their access and responsibilities. Here's a quick summary of each role and its purpose. Take a moment to read through them, and notice how each one contributes to a secure and balanced system. Control roles like admin and agent admin, SysAdmin. Design roles like workflow admin, user management roles like user admin, execution and monitoring roles like user and activity monitor. One thing worth mentioning, we're not limited to just these predefined roles. AutomationEdge also allows you to create custom user roles, where you can configure specific permissions and define new roles tailored to your organization's needs. We've seen how roles define structure. Now let's move from theory to practice by creating a user and assigning them the right role. In AutomationEdge, users can be of 4 types. Here's a quick overview before we create one. Native user, stored in the AE database, authenticated by AE. Most common type. LDAP user, appears only if LDAP is configured in settings. Authentication is via LDAP credentials. SSO user, authenticated through an identity provider using OpenID Connect. Cannot access Process Studio or be sysadmin. SSO service user, available only when SSO is configured with OpenID Connect. Created by admin or user admin. For this demo, let's create a native user, the most common type. From the main menu, go to User's right pointing arrow user list. Here, the tenant users page appears, showing all existing users for this tenant. To add a new user, click on Add New. This opens the Add New User page. In the User Type field, in the User Type dropdown, select Native User. Let's go through them. Now let's enter the details. First name, Jane. Last name, Doe. Email ID, jane.doe@example.com. Send verification link over email. Check this to send an activation email, valid for 24 hours. Username, jane.doe. Password, password at 123. Confirm password, password at 123. Next, assign a role from the dropdown. Admin, full access and control. User, admin, manage users and policies. Workflow admin, manage workflows. Agent admin, manage agents. Activity monitor, view only access. For this demo, we'll select the user role. If the role is user, you can also add them to groups, for example, the finance group. Once all mandatory fields are filled, click Create. The user is added and appears in the tenant users list. Important: for native users, advise them to change their password after first login for security. Here, under the user list, you can see the newly created user along with key details: username, role, name, creation date, last updated date, and status, along with quick options to edit or delete the user. Notice the status shows as unverified. But what does unverified actually mean? And what are the other possible user states in AutomationEdge? That's exactly what we'll explore next. And with that, we wrap up our deep dive into user roles and user creation in AutomationEdge. We've seen how each role contributes to a secure and organized environment. From the system administrator, who oversees the entire platform, to tenant-level admins and users who execute workflows in their respective domains. We also walked through how to create a new user and assign them the right role, ensuring every user gets just the access they need. Nothing more, nothing less. In the next video, we'll take this a step further, exploring different user states, how to create multiple users efficiently, and how to organize them into groups for smarter access management.
In the next video, we'll take this a step further, exploring different user states, how to create multiple users efficiently, and how to organize them into groups for smarter access management. So stay tuned. We're about to make user management in AutomationEdge smarter, faster, and more scalable than ever before.